We've still got quite a lot of upgrades left within our work orders list, and I'm very happy just allowing our builders to continue on with that, and I can help out whenever I'm required. But I think today I'm maybe going to concentrate a bit on our Civic District, which is really coming along pretty nicely, and I'm very happy with how it's starting to shape up. But I've still got a few more ideas of other builds that I would like to place down in it. I spent quite some time filling this area out here with water, as well as placing in a lot of coral reef blocks, and I think this area is looking really nice. So nice in fact that I think it's about time that we ruin it by placing in a fisher's hut. This is our Asian style fisherman's hut at tier 1. And at tier 5, the building is a bit more impressive. And I'm thinking that we could place it somewhere around this section of the river because it's the widest and already has a lot of fish inside of it. So yes, I think somewhere around here will be ideal for it. Ava is finishing up a guards tower to tier 4 for us. Ilya is wrapping up our dyer to tier 4. Cyrus is upgrading our miner to tier 4. Andy is upgrading a citizen's house to tier 4 over in our agricultural district, but this is where we need the fisherman's hut because she wants a raw salmon in. And finally, Luella is also upgrading a guards tower. So at least all of our builders are keeping themselves busy, and I've got all the time in the world to be getting on with my own projects. We are in the newest area of our Civic District, and we are starting to get up a few different builds, which are mainly just as decoration. But I'm thinking that this area here is possibly where our Civic District is going to extend out to. Our colony's boundary is just to the edge there, as you can see, and I don't think I want to expand too much past it. So what I'm thinking about doing is placing down a few more builds and a few more decorations just along the length here, and then further down past our graveyard. And then with the space that we will have between the builds and our boundary, I think we will erect a giant wall, just to keep everyone else out and our citizens inside nice and safe. And yes, I did have to stop myself from laughing at the word erect. So I'm going to start off by placing in another housing decoration, and then right beside it we're going to place in another guards tower. Beside that I'm going to place in another restaurant, followed by another citizen's house, but this is an alternative style to it. And that then pretty much takes us right up to the riverside. I think I'm going to deconstruct the guards tower there and just reposition it somewhere around here, so it's not going to be moved too far away. I'm still planning on having a subway system for every district of our colony. The decoration in front is the railway system that we use over in our agricultural district. And I think that we've made the paths here in our Civic District just the right width so that these would fit really nicely into them. Pretty much by the looks of it. So with this decoration here then, I would just simply dig it down into the ground, and once it's constructed, we will then just replace the top of it with the kind of wooden idea that we have here. But at least then underneath, we will already have the rail system that we can use as our subway part. So taking that rail system idea into consideration, I can then place down some stairs and some oak slabs along here, which will act as some pathing for us, but that's pretty much then going to be the pathway all the way down. And on this side then, I will then place in another guards tower. And I'm just going to put this here at the moment just so that we get up the construction tape. But where the construction tape then ends here, this is where our wall is then going to begin. And we are definitely going to be using walls such as this. And we're going to have them right along the length of our boundary here. And I think we will start placing some of the wall segments just right up to this point here, just before the river. So the wall is pretty much going to start from here and run along the length just down the way. I still have a few more builds that I would like to place down here as well, but I think this is enough to begin with. I really want them to come out here and construct these buildings first, so then I can place down this pathing and then maybe better set a guards tower so that we can then position the wall. So I'm going to go help out some of our builders, Luella in particular, just so that we can actually begin the construction of these. Both Ava and Luella have now finished off their respective guards towers and are now out here helping me construct these new builds. I think Ava is upgrading our restaurant at the moment, and Luella is over here making up our citizens' hut. Look at the speed of Ava here with our restaurant. A tier 4 builder doing a tier 1 building. This is going to be done any second. And Elia is out here constructing our guards tower for us, so that's even better. And that's Ava just finished with her restaurant there. Good job, pal. And I can see that Luella is probably just about to finish off our citizens' house here as well. Yup, that's Luella just finished off her citizens' house there. And I now have the pathing placed down so that we can now position our guards tower. Well, just before we do, I know that our construction tape comes to this block here, so what I have in front of us are some stairs that will lead you up onto the wall, and I just need to position it first. It's difficult to judge exactly where to place these things without having others built first, but I think that's an okay place for the stairs here. So let's go ahead with that decoration. And in fact, once someone has come out and built that for us, then we will place down the guards tower. That's probably a better way to do this. I was wondering why it was taking Cyrus so long to complete our miner build here, and it's because he's managed to get himself stuck on this minecart and is just going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and not making this build. Cyrus, as much fun as I'm sure that you're having here, we really need this up and going, so that was Salvador, apologies. It was Cyrus that I was trying to motivate to get back to work there. Absolute bloody imbecile. Cyrus has picked up the Fisherman job next, which is okay, I suppose. I would have much preferred him picking up the wall decoration, but I suppose we'll then get this up, which will get us some fish, so that Andy can then help us out as well. Whilst Ava deconstructs our guards tower here, I'm just going to place down some more pathing, which is going to look something like that. Now, do I put a bridge over just to link up with the other end? Why not? I really like these bridge parts as well actually, so yes, let's get up another bridge here as well. And as I was messing about placing in that bridge there, I seen that Elia had finished off our guards tower and has actually picked up our little stone wall. So I'll let her finish that, then we can place in some more wall segments and also just place in that guards tower. I've also got a schematic of the walls that we've been using around here. This one is maybe just a bit too long, but I'll also place this down and will allow them to build it for us, and I will just tidy it up. But it'll end up looking something like that wall there. But that will then separate our guards tower from our restaurant, and hopefully it'll look pretty nice as well. Right then, Elia, how are we getting on here? I don't know if this build has anything particular that we need to look at. You seem to be getting in the vast majority of things, a few more stone brick items, but apart from that, no. You're going to have this constructed very, very quickly. I will maybe just need to come out here and tidy this up a bit, but that's absolutely fine. And that's Ava just finished deconstructing our tier 3 guards tower. which it will keep its tier 3 status whenever we place it down again. And I think I will wait until we make the bridge first and then see where I can position it here. But I can just come over now and easily pick this up. Cyrus has made some pretty decent progress with our new Fisherman's Hut. That's pretty much the foundations down for it. I'm not sure where he is at the moment. In fact, there he is right there. So this shouldn't take him too much longer before it's done. Elia, on the other hand, is too busy having a rave party over there, so I don't think whatever build she's getting up to is going to get done anytime soon. But at least we do have someone out building for us. Good work, Cyrus. And that's Cyrus just finished it there. Brilliant. So we will get this build up to tier 3 and then we can unlock the Sifter build within our university. And I can see that Lance has decided to become our Fisherman and our Jesus, but at least that means that Andy is going to get her fish now. Luella just finished off a citizen's house, which is this one here, so it's now up at tier 4. And we will await and see what order she picks up next, which is the covered bridge end. Brilliant. And I think by happy coincidence that our stairs across the way is kind of meeting up with our bridge here. That gives me another idea. I'm wondering if we could almost have a freeway intersection with this part here, the bridge coming over, and our stairwell there. It might require a bit of tinkering on my part in the middle, but that is a possibility here. Luella is definitely building this covered end piece at quite some rate, which is grand, because it means that I can come out and extend the bridge. Another middle section just here, that looks good to me, so we will get Luella doing this as well once you've finished this part. The middle section will take us up to the point here for these blocks, which don't really align up nicely with the path that we have here, but we could maybe do something about that. I'll let her finish that off first, and we'll let Elia finish that off. Then we'll see about having another bridge section just in front here. Elia has made real good work with the base here. I don't know if we now have the stairs that lead right up to the top or not. Yes, we do. So this is the top of it, and along the way is where our wall is going to be as well. So I can now line up our wall with this section here, and we can start constructing it. So here is our big wall piece, and we will see how close we can get this. That's snapped pretty nicely. So let's have a look at it from the downside. It's going to float a little bit, but we can again just put down some grass underneath it. That's actually not the longer piece. That's the longer piece, and that looks really good there actually. It is lining up pretty nice, so let's go ahead with this. And we'll just get Elia out, and she can construct that for us as well. I will definitely need to do something about filling up the gaps underneath. The long wall is pretty much the same materials that she's already used for the stairwell, so I'm not foreseeing any issues with her building that. So I think I'm going to move on to the next part then, which is to take this road that will lead us down the way here and create a T-section. So one half will take you down that way, and the other half will take you along this way. And we can consider the stairs here as the end of the T-section of this pathway. So what I'm thinking about doing behind it is placing in another bakery, which will probably be seated somewhere like this, where once you come up the path here, this will be the kind of first building that you will see just before you get to the section, and then can go either way. Plus, the shape of this build here as well is the same size as the guard's tower, so the wall will just simply run along the length behind it here. But again, before I even consider placing it down, I will need our builders out here and constructing some of these other builds and decorations, just so I have a rough idea of where this is going to go. But then afterwards, it's going to pretty much be the same story, and we will have a few more different citizen houses as well as decorations placed over here as well, and I will finally get rid of this very temporary guards tower that's been there for quite some time. So I'm going to let our builders continue constructing the wall here as well as our bridge, and I will extend out the wall as much as I can just until we do get to this intersection point here, and then we will pick up from there and continue our construction of our Civic District. We are making good progress here. As you can see, our wall is now starting to come along pretty nicely. We are on a bit of a dip at the moment, so I've had to make some stairs downwards, but I believe that Alia is continuing on with it at the moment. I've had a change of mind whenever it comes to the bridge section here and elected to go just for the smaller bridge, but at least now we can still look over into the river and it just kind of fits a bit nicer here. I think I've pretty much relocated the guards tower exactly where it was now thanks to the bridge, but just facing here, and we have some more pathways that now take you up and around the mystical pagoda. The wall sections here, as big as they are, actually aren't all that complicated to do, because it's mainly just stone brick and cobblestone with the occasional andesite involved. But it does take you down this way, and we are just at the edge here, where Alia is constructing the next section of it, just behind our new bakery, which I believe that Ava is constructing this for us, so it's really not going to take her too long. The next part here is going to involve us coming down some stairs and placing in a few more builds around this area, and also maybe tidying up the back end here. As much as I think a floating bakery looks good, yeah, we may need to fix this. But I do think this area here is starting to turn out really nicely. The wall isn't too close to these builds and is definitely making it feel quite secure inside of it. But I'm pretty sure that we can maybe place some further decorations inside these little hole sections within the wall as well. I think this is what the yin and yang medallions are then for, because I can get them to fit inside of these circles here, and in fact I think they're just made out of concrete as well. So we'll put in a black and white one there, and I believe that we have a coloured one as well that we can choose. Yes, red and white, and we'll place that one in here as well, and we will maybe just scatter a few of these medallions along these holes in the wall here. So we definitely have a lot more decorations that we can place down in this section, again just to improve it, but I really should now concentrate on the other section of our Civic District here. Look at the speed that she's building, just with me pissing about with those medallions. We've got 2 house builds set for construction here, which I think are on the layer above the one that we're stood on at the moment. But I think just in the space that we are standing in, I'm going to place down some more decorations and some more builds. But I will hold off at the moment just until one of our builders does come out and construct one of these so that I do know which layer that they're building on. Ava is constructing our new bakery, is 99% supplied, awaiting in one more oak stair. Alia is continuing on with her good work and constructing our big walls for us. Cyrus is upgrading a guards tower to tier 2, which I believe is this one here. Andy finally got in her raw salmon and has moved on to do a citizen's house up to tier 4, and by the looks of it, she's getting a lot of the items in for it. And Luella has finished off whatever build she was doing and has moved on to upgrade our restaurant to tier 4. So ideally, Luella and Andy would come out here and construct these 2 builds for me. I may get them to do that actually. Luella is just awaiting in a cooked salmon and 10 lanterns, and she's then got everything for the tier 4 upgrade to a restaurant, which I do have to admit is looking really, really nice. I really like these banners at the back. I think my plans for this section here is to place another row of builds along the way here, followed by another path just in between, and one final set of housing and our other builds just along the length here. Then we will have the wall come right down the length of it and just behind these last builds, heading up towards what would be our town hall, which I think that will give our Civic District a fairly big footprint with quite a lot of different builds within it. The area just across the way there, I am still going to keep open at the moment, and I think eventually we may get some form of combat academy and barracks placed over in it. We certainly do have a lot of space here still that we can place those buildings on, but I definitely think whenever it's coming to our wall here, it's maybe just going to travel down so far before we do kind of cut this off. But it really all just depends on how these buildings will end up looking once they're constructed. So I really, really need our builders to get their fingers out and get a move on here. And that's Ava just finished off our baker there. That's perfect. I will get Luella out to upgrade our citizens' house here to tier 2 eventually. But that's good, Ava. Let's see what you pick up next. She has picked up the guards tower to tier 4 across the way, which is absolutely fine. We have another big wall segment here, which we will get Elia once again coming out to do. She will certainly be constructing walls in her dreams tonight, I tell you that much. She's doing a fantastic job here. And Luella is out here constructing one of our new houses for us, which is perfect. Once we get the foundations up for it, I can then place down some more buildings just behind it. I'm going to put in another hospital build, but instead of it facing this way, I think we will mirror image it, just for a little difference. I will definitely need to get rid of this guards tower now, so let's just deconstruct it, or get Luella out here to deconstruct it. And we will place in another guards tower, maybe just in here actually. Yes, that will sit nicely in there after we get rid of the other guards tower. That is Andy just finished with a tier 4 citizens house, which I assume is in our agricultural district. Hopefully she will come out here next to help us. But in the meantime, I think in the final space that we have, I am going to place down another delivery man's hut, which I think is just going to tuck in very nicely here, so why not? And we will get the stairs coming down here, and we will now create a pathway just coming down and along this way. Also Andy, that is not a building out here, so nope. And I believe that Elia has just finished off our wall there. Good job, pal. Hopefully you will pick up the next segment of it. I think Cyrus is also back out constructing his guards tower. Luella pretty much has this build here complete, just putting in the torches, and that's it done. Good job. Right, you pick up something else. Where is Ava and Andy? Here is Andy right there, and she is making up our other citizen's house. That's good. Luella has started work on a guards tower, which might be the deconstruction of that one. And if I can remember back 5 minutes ago, then I think Ava is constructing our guards tower here to tier 4, which she is just coming there, so I think this is coming along pretty nicely. She is 75% done with it actually, so yes, it is coming along nicely. Ava finished off that guards tower to tier 4, Luella deconstructed that birch guards tower, and Ava is now constructing this guards tower. So things are still moving ahead here. And that is Andy just finished the citizen's house above us, which is good, because basically all that my job is at the moment is filling out some grass blocks underneath these stupid builds. And I've just realised how long I've been recording for. Whoops, this is going to be a very long episode. So just to ensure that I don't rush things more than I already have, I think I'm going to call things here. We've still got quite a lot more to do within our Civic District, but it's definitely coming together pretty nicely at the moment. So we will pick this up next time and continue on with the upgrade to this district.